That. Sorry. I was chit-chatting with my sister-in-law, so to speak, downstairs, and making coffee because it's daylight savings. Okay. And I stayed up too late. So I slept real good. But anyways, hello 71. Hey Jess Ruby. Moon's got shit to say too. Ooh. But anyways, hello 71. Sorry about that. And plus, right before I hit the live button, I don't know if you could hear the train, but it was like coming by. So, hey Daniel. Hello Chantel. You slept so good last night. Moon, I fell asleep on the couch with my husband. We went upstairs, and then I went to pee. And Morbid had, anybody ever heard of Street Maxer or Horror Maxer, they call him? He went up on Morbid's panel, and I had to watch that as I was trying to fall back asleep. Interesting dude. Real interesting dude. He's funny. He likes to smell stuff. Check him out. His content is unboxing women's bleeps and sniffing them. Okay, you have shit to say, just so you know. Oh shit. Well, I was coming on here because, and listen, I never come on live at nighttime. I was gonna do it tomorrow, but I have to have a phone call with my friend Stacy either tonight or tomorrow, and my husband gets off in an hour. And I know that Siren's live. I know he, doesn't like when people go live at the same time. So if he's live by the time we end this, then we could go over there. But hey, Sky Maiden. Hey, Bubsy. Hey, Ashley. Huckleberry dumb fuck. Ashley. Oh my God. That's my husband's favorite thing from my parody. A Huckleberry dumb fuck. Hey, Kelly. All right, guys, I got my coffee ready. I got some notes that I took down because when you just can't wait to say something and you have to like, oh, a community post isn't going to do it justice. There's too much to say. That's my predicament right now. Plus, I was sent something that I was like, oh, really? And we're going to go over that as well. So I would like for you to shove it up to your gather around. No chance. No dance. No chance. No dance. No chance. Give me second chances. That's so cool! Hey! Ow! Ow! I love you, Kelly. Bitch, what did you want me to say? You have shit to say? Just say it already? Say it already. Fuck you. Just kidding. I love you. Bitch talks. All right. So hold on. Let's just go through this list. Let's skim through it real quick. Okay. First things first. Okay. Just for shits and gigs. Cause he's a funny guy. Captain Kangaroo came into Morbid's chat last night. Raging. And he's fun to like banter back and forth with, talk shit, whatever. Well, he ended up getting timed out a bunch of times and someone blocked him. And he got all butthurt today and he's like, save Robbie blocked me. Wasn't me. I was having fun talking to you. So just so you know, whoever blocked him, I mean, I'm sure they have no problem speaking up, but wasn't me, bitch. So shut up. Do you understand? So there's that. So no, didn't block you. And I guess, I don't know if I could drop a link if anybody has some things to say. So I'm trying to go through this quickly. Hey, Tiffany. Hi, Karina. So there was some people that had maybe misunderstood when May, because I don't know if you guys know, May Noodles came in my chat. And I don't think anybody knows this. I actually had in my notes, I had that live stream that I did that she came into scheduled as, and it was written in the title, May versus Space and Beck. And I actually was gonna like kind of rip into May Noodles. And right when I was getting into that topic, I was starting to, kind of talk shit. And I was like, she wouldn't even respond to my email and blah, blah, blah. And I was actually about ready to kind of, not be nice to her. And she came into my chat. And the first thing that popped into my head when she was like, I'm really sorry, was okay. And it wasn't, I really wasn't thinking about anybody else's experiences with her. Hey, David, it's good to see you on YouTube instead of Facebook. I really didn't even think of anybody else's issues. And it wasn't to be selfish. It was just because when anybody comes to me and apologizes, I like peaceful stuff. It's very nice and it feels good. And then shortly after that, she had come up on my panel and we had spoke and stuff like that. And that really truly felt like the right thing to do. So I am sorry if that like offended or confused some people, because I know that she has experiences with other people that I may care about and stuff. Hey, Brittany, hold on. I'm getting over a cold and I'm going to mute so I could like do gross stuff. Just kidding. I'm not doing cocaine. Sorry about that. Did you notice the city hasn't done anything since the drama? What city? What drama? Oh, you mean the background doesn't move? Hey, Trisha. So, anyways, I just want to explain to people for a better understanding of why I do that, because and even Morbid, I was listening to his as I was falling asleep. Hey, just me, everything. A lot of people said, uh, that could hurt other people's feelings, because it really can. If you know how when you let somebody in your chat and maybe they're not nice to somebody else or blah 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 blah, and then the word loyalty and stuff. And I'm always very outspoken about loyalty and like what it means. And I'm very loyal to people. However, uh you also have to be loyal like to your morals, like as far as what feels right. And I'm not saying my current relationships, but let's just say a predicament. Let's say Tammy Wells and Tara with Trisha are good friends, and Trisha gets in a huge fight with allegedly with Brittany, and so does Tammy, but Tammy ends up making up with her. Okay, and then Trisha gets mad at Tammy for making up with, or feels offended for her making peace with Brittany, but that felt good to her. And then let's say down the line, fuck it, Tammy and Trisha, they fuck each other over in the long run anyways. No, I'm not saying any of my current friends would do that or I'd do that to them. Hey, Rojo. But what I'm saying is, I mean, I'm I'm always thinking about what can be the best decision in my brain at that time. Because let's say that, for example, let's say May came into my chat the other day, and I thought about, being like, I could forgive her. It could feel really good. Hey, Manville Gal. But then I thought about everybody else that I truly love and care about, um, hate her, or maybe they hate each other. And then I decide, you know what? Fuck you, May. Get the fuck out of here. And then let's say down the line, those relationships or friendships, whether they last forever or whatever, uh, like get fucked over or something. Or let's say something bad happens to May or something. Like I think you should allow your friends a chance to like have that peace inside of them. It doesn't mean that they're going to be best friends or anything. It could, hey, Lycan, it could go a lot of different directions. But just so everybody gets an idea, I've told this story a long time ago, but I want to tell it again. It's a quick story. Um, I had a very good friend, quote, she was for a while, and her name was Katrina, and not Katrina on YouTube. This is way before YouTube. I actually spent my 30th birthday at her funeral. Um, but Katrina was one of those people where you love her, but she had a lot of issues and they could become annoying to a lot of people, and they can get in the way of a lot of friendships. And she would complain a lot. But she also had a good heart, and she just annoyed me after a while, is what I'm saying. And I still loved her. And she would always come over just to like complain about her problems. And I'd roll my eyes and just be like, oh my God, I love her, but when is she going to shut up type of situation, right? And she would come over, and this is back when I smoked cigarettes, or she'd ask my parents for cigarettes. And it was just like, she's just coming over to complain and get cigarettes and stuff. Even though we loved her, it was one of those things, right? A lot of people ask me, dude, why do you even talk to her? Like, what the fuck? She's done so much dumb stuff. Like, why do you keep like going back and talking to her and stuff? And so if I would have listened to other people's opinions and what, told me, just, dude, stay away from her, I'd feel a lot worse than I do now. But the last time I saw her, she was my neighbor and she lived across the street, but her and the guy that lived there broke up. So she didn't live there, but she just so happened to be there. So I was up in my shower when I lived at my parents', and there was across the street was her house, and there's a window. And she saw me poke my head out the window, and she's like, Robbie, I need you. Can you please come down and give me a hug? I rolled my fucking eyes. I'm like, ugh, why did I have to say hi? Go down, throw my clothes on, which I don't do for anybody. I give her a hug. I listen to her, complaining, and I'm just like, it's just one of those situations, where you're just like, God, shut the fuck up. And I'm saying it like this and wording it like this because this is how it happened, and I want to put you in the mindset of it. So I think it was a couple days later. I used to go to the gym 6 days a week, and I'm coming out of the gym, and her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend texts me, and all the text said was, Katrina's dead. Something along the lines of that. I don't know if it was very blunt. And I'm like, laughing? Like, that's not funny. Like, kind of laugh. Like, that's not funny, but you're stupid. No. And then my mom tells me, he's over here. We're talking. She drove to his house because she lived with her current boyfriend. She picked up his Glock, took it to her apartment, and, the rest. And, that was that. And I'm like thinking to myself how much more I could have maybe done instead of rolling my eyes. But it was a very exhausting friendship, and I love her very much. But, so when people tell me, you're doing the wrong thing, don't talk to that person, they're evil, or don't give that person a chance, I get it. But I don't ever want to have that feeling again. So when forgiveness or peaceful things is presented to me, I always take the opportunity to do that. Period. And I know as an adult that the other person is capable of doing that, and so am I, because that's how it happens. Hey, over on Facebook, Kenneth. And I know, having friends and loved ones and stuff, I love them for a reason because they're good people, they're logical people, and I know that as adults, everybody could work things out themselves. So when I make the decision to do that, and especially, it happened publicly, I feel like that's a step in the right direction because it's like a positive link to the other side of the fence that makes it more possible for other people to do that. So I just wanted to explain that because I know a lot of other people were very confused and thought, that was a bad move, but I just want you to understand that's how I think. That's how I'm always going to think. And, whether you become friends with somebody else when you're forgiving them or whatever it is, that's the reason I do it. It's not for any other reason. And I get loyalty, but I've always said, be loyal to yourself first. So if you feel something in your heart is right, you do that. It may piss other people off. Look, people tell me all the time, you're so fucking dumb. You're not a Christian. You're not this. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, I believe lots of parts of the Bible, but Christ is who I follow. I don't follow a book. And Christ was persecuted for doing the right shit all the fucking time. So come at me all you want, but I'm going to do the right fucking thing if it feels good. And you can come at me and I'm going to lean on Jesus. Hey, Tamara Lee over on Facebook. Hey, Angie. Hey, Angie, Angela. So that's why I do that. Rosaling, I don't know if you were on your cruise yet, but I hope you're doing good. I hope it was fun. I want to hear all about it. I agree, Tiff. This place has gotten to be horrible. I hardly chat anywhere anymore. Well, that too, because well, I guess that's that part. That gets me to the next thing I wanted to talk about. And see, I make notes because my ADHD when I'm like in more of a hurry. Granny's watching. I sent her an email about something, I don't know, quite a while ago. Oh, it was about the parody that I did, with the book. Because I like to email people or just give them a heads up, like, hey, I'm including you in my parody. Even if I don't get along, I feel like that's the right thing to do unless they're evil or have me blocked. And then I recently responded because Granny was up on panel on Morbid's last night and Lycan and Amber and stuff. And of course, like I've made a good piece, with Amber and with Lycan, and we all know how that is. They don't get along and stuff. So it can be uncomfortable being in their chats and removing yourself. Granny and I were just kind of like cordial with each other and stuff. And I don't know if she saw in Morbid's chat last night that I sent her an email with a little apology about something I had said about her a long time ago when I was on one of my rants about her. Hey, Melanie. But I'm laughing because in the moment I just said it to be a fucking dick, right? So I did apologize. I don't know if Granny heard it or read it in an email, but about because I was basically calling her a whore, to be blunt, a crack whore. I don't know, about a year ago or something. I know, Melanie. It just feels good. Feels good to apologize. And I basically said that she snorts cocaine off of her kid's ass. And not really thinking, because people always say, don't go after kids or whatever. And, whatever. It was just to be a dick. And she had been heard about that for a long time. So I'm sorry about that. I don't know if you saw that. That's an insult to horror. She doesn't even get. I'm sorry, I read that out loud. Love you, Melanie. So I am sorry about that. Okay. No, and see, and this is a good example right here. Like what Anne just said. See, this is how it can be either uncomfortable or productive or both. But Anne W said Granny is sneaky. Just be careful with that one. And see, everybody has their own opinion. So that's why it could be uncomfortable going into certain people's channels, in their comment section, their chats, maybe even their panels. Because once you make a positive connection or reconnection with somebody, you still think about maybe all the people you care about that haven't done that. So a lot of people can see that as flip-flopping or backstabbing or turning your back on somebody or not being loyal or whatever you want to call it. But like I see it as a positive direction. Because what about this? People either say about me, and it's like, well, fucking choose one. They either say, you are just trying to use that person or kiss ass to either get views or whatever it is. And you're using that person when you apologize and just make nice with them. But they'll also say, you're just using that person if you're talking about them and dragging them. So it's like, dude, I don't care about what people think my intentions are because it feels good to make peace with people. And you could think whatever the fuck you want to. So then when you make peace with somebody, you become the link that can make it possible in the future for other people to do that. Now, a lot of people say, no, fuck that. They've done too much. Actually, this is what everybody says. If they're like, why did you do that? Why did you apologize? Or why did you talk to that person? I'm like, well, it felt good. Like, well, you know that they're this and that, right? And I'm thinking to myself, yes, I was the one who had a problem with them. I know you do too, but so did I. And yeah, but they did way worse to me. And the other person will go on. And this is why I'm never going to forgive them. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, can you please, if you care about your friend, you don't want to hurt them, but you also want your friends to be free and not be stuck in fucking hatred, right? Hey, Pesky. So it can go both ways. if you see that your friend has made a positive change or went in a positive direction, don't get mad about that. That shouldn't be a bad thing unless they're doing it intentionally to hurt your feelings, and that's fucked up. Okay. But with good intentions, it's fine, in my opinion. That's just how I am. And you should always make a decision based on how you feel inside. That's part of my relationship with God. Okay. Oh, God. My ice melted in my water. Tammy, is that the real you? Tammy Wells? Or did you start a new channel? Because I don't see an avatar on your thing. So that's really, I guess, all I wanted to say about that. I just want people to know that, like, if you got hurt that I allowed May to come in and apologize and was kind, I'm sorry and not sorry at the same time. I am sorry, but also at the same time, I hope you understand. Like, that's a positive move. And a lot of people may not be ready to make nice with her or anybody else at this time, but I was. So I hope you understand. Like, thank you, Melanie. That was very sweet. Thank you. So yeah, grow a pair. I mean, that would be the mean way to say it, but bluntly, I would choose that maybe. But I don't want to cause more issues. But we all have our own opinions. We all have our own, issues. And I mean, being almost 42 years old, I can say when I was younger, I often allowed other people's experiences with others uh, to base my opinion on a person that I had never even spoke to or got the chance to get to know, and regretted it because I'm like, God, that person wasn't bad. It was just, you can't see somebody from someone else's point of view because your experience is going to be different, basically. Everyone's human and has the right to choose. Yeah. And if you're doing it with good intentions, let it be known. I think people with bad intentions, it's kind of just known by default. Hey, Zen11. I'm sorry, but after today, it would be okay with me if I never heard Granny's name again and says that was absolutely disgusting. I'm going to get into that in just a minute. But yeah, that's just to clear the air on that. That's how I operate, and I hope maybe you understand. And plus, it goes into my childhood, the way I was raised, lots of different things, lots of conflict I've witnessed my entire life that has been a waste of time and emotions. And that's probably why I often struggle with conflict with people myself. And so I'd rather go in the positive direction and just squash it. I mean, I've done that with Lycan. I've done that with Tiffany. I've done that with, who else is in here that I've fucking dragged? At 71, I think we have gone back and forth. I was very mean to Pesky. I actually, I think it was on one of my live streams when I was going off. I made a very mean statement about her husband, and I've apologized, but I'll do it again. I'm sorry for that. And when I'm mean and when I'm mad, I say very mean stuff. So here's another. Oh, and Angela, here's another thing. When you stay in anger, or if you see your friend and you don't want them to make amends or you don't understand, you would want better, because when you stay in anger, it just gets worse and worse and worse. It never gets better. It's like being in a room and this is how you could look at it. It's like being in a room and you can't get out and water's filling it. You're like, oh my God, how the fuck do I get out of here? Oh my God. And the water represents conflict and drama and bullshit. And the only way to drain that fucking room is to make nice. I'm making nice. And all of that fucking evil shit goes away and you don't drown. So I'd rather get the fuck out of that room. And if I see an exit, which is very easy to do, to kick the fucking drain button and make nice with somebody and it's offered to me, fuck yeah, I'm doing that. Just me everything. No, I haven't dragged you. Hey, Amber Time. I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot of people that have come in and been like, you were really mean to me years ago, because I'll snap at a person commenting or whatever, and I just don't remember the name if I snapped at them, because I've snapped at a lot of chatters that don't have channels or whatnot. So yeah, but you have a channel. uh I fell asleep when Granny went up on panel, but I could only imagine. I'll have to go back and listen. So on that subject, Mama Bear, and this is just like as an observer and just I was in the chat reading a lot of stuff. Hey Thea, I was in the chat reading a lot of stuff in Morbid's chat. But yesterday, if you don't know, I had told Lycan that Morbid was going live because of our live stream and stuff, and to go over it if he wanted to give his input. I was busy for most of the night, so I couldn't, but I was in the chat in and out. So, hey, Laugh at Life. I want to get into that also a little bit because everybody has their own opinions. Anyways, sorry, I'm trying to get this out fast. Let me take a hit of my vape. Hold on, I got to do substances off camera. So Lycan went into Morbid's chat, and he was going to go up on the panel, and Granny was clearly upset about that, and I think, in my opinion, Lycan and Granny obviously have their own history. They've been able to make peace before, and I think they can. It's possible to do it again. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. But we should be able to be comfortable around each other. Comfortably, especially when the topic wasn't about Granny and Lycan. I understand that's where the word loyalty comes in as well, because Morbid used that, loyalty and stuff, which for me, I love Morbid, but I have a different, everybody has their own take on loyalty. I think loyalty is like, let's be kind to our friends. Let's be supportive. We don't have to support everything they do. We don't have to hate everyone they hate. We just want our loved ones to be happy. To me, that's loyalty, period. Hey, roses are red. So anyways, Lycan goes in there. Granny was upset. And like I'm saying, I don't want to fight with Granny at all by saying this, because obviously I just apologized to her and stuff. But I was in the chat, trying to encourage them to make peace, because I think that would be great. Thank you, Tony Marshall. Hold on, I'm hitting my vape. Because that's ultimately what would fix the situation. But I did want to clear something up. And I'm sure Lycan will go over this at one point. I think even as a live tomorrow to go over it or whatever. But in all fairness, okay, Granny did go up there and say, I don't talk about Lycan. I never talk about him. I don't know why he comes at me. Now, they do go at each other. Just in my opinion, this is in the name of peace, by the way. I don't want you to get offended, okay? This is just my observation. Just because maybe you're not doing it intentionally. Maybe you didn't even notice. But just in my opinion, okay, trying to be nice. Just by, you may not do it because you said you don't do it on your channel. You don't do lives about Lycan. And I don't know if you do or don't, because I haven't watched you a lot. But it can even count for going in chats. So just by Lycan being in there, we could have just coexisted, because the topic wasn't even about you and Lycan. But you were going off about him. So that's probably what Lycan is referring to. Like when he says you talk about him and you say, no, I don't. You do? Because you did that in the chat. And that's probably what he was referring to. Like whether it's in chats or on panels, whatever it is, maybe don't do that. Or here's a good example. Like when Lycan was in there, because there was a block Lycan in Morbid's chat, then unblock, then Granny would block him, and they're in the chat right now. I don't know if they want to come out, but I see them in the chat. They were the one unblocking Lycan. This isn't fair. You can out yourself if you want to. I told Lycan who you were, because I thought it was a kind gesture. But I don't think we should go into other people's chats, and if someone comes in that we don't like, just be like, they shouldn't be in here. And they, it's not our channel to do that. We should be able to coexist as adults. Yeah. Hold on. Did they out themselves? We should be able to coexist is what I'm saying. You did once and you got scared. Oh, Kayla did too. Yeah, there was a bunch of people. I saw, I don't know if they outed themselves or not. Lycan knows. Oh, Green just said it. Anyways, That's just my opinion on that. But just to be fair, in all fairness, I didn't see Lycan talking about her at all. It was like, get him out of here. Nobody should talk to him. And I get it. Like, in my opinion, I think Granny and Lycan both have reasons to be upset. And, that's how you work it out. You just explain it to each other. But I definitely don't think Lycan was in there to stir trouble with Granny at all. But I did see Granny, you kind of started that because you were talking about him. That's it. That's all I'm saying. So maybe if we recognize like that you did that, then you'll see like, oh, like I don't do lives about him, but maybe like not even in chats and stuff. Cause that's kind of when you squash it, we shouldn't go around in chats still and do it because everybody still sees it. You're listening to the stream before you started chatting, and I saw her going on and on about me before I even started chatting. That is correct. Yes. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Pesky says, I've seen Jamie go into a lot of checks, sticking to the topic, being respectful, and there's always a few making jabs. I see that too. And I really don't think that's fair. Because like even Captain Kangaroo, like I said, I don't know who blocked him or who was timing out last night, but it wasn't me. I was talking shit to him. But even, I'm like, this isn't my chat to like block him. I didn't know if Morbid wanted him blocked or not, so I just let him keep going. But it's not our channel to do that. Hi, Justice for Chloe. I absolutely agree. Yeah. You just our channel, this is where we have our say. Lots of people go up on panels on other people's channels to argue or whatever. And, if it's welcomed there, sure. Or if that's the topic. But I mean, I just don't think I don't think I would go into somebody's chat. Now, maybe, I don't know. And just be like, you need to block them. They did this to me. And they're like, well, I don't know. I don't have an experience with what? Okay. You have a bad experience with them. Okay. Well, they're being kind in here. So, it's just not fair. You have Captain Kangaroo blocked, but you're laughing at my comments. I do not forgive you. I never will. You is a whole snake. Eat a dick, Nikki. Nikki, I don't know if you wanted me to bring up, the thing. Hey, Delilah. That was gross, Anne, but now we know why she's a... See, and I don't support that statement. But, everyone, you have your own experience. Okay? You just did. You just ate a dick, or you just, no one talks about Tammy? I'll start dragging you. Piss me off. Fuck around and find out. The thing about the thing with the thing. Yes. Oh, and just a quick, because something bad and shitty happened to Darling Nikki. I'm going to kind of get into that topic a little bit with Space Monster and Beck, kind of. But let me just say this to AJ real quick, because I got to address her on every stream when she's dumb. She made a post on Chroma Vault saying, like, she shared her own post, which is such an AJ move. And when she shared the post that she shared 7 days ago says, don't worry, darling Nikki. I have no problem calling you a cunt. None at all. Nor would I ever have a problem with a male or female also calling you one. Now, clearly, I don't know why she reshares her post. Maybe she thinks people didn't care or didn't see it. But she reshared her own post and she said, if I knew how bad this post would trigger this bitch, then I would have made it sooner. The past week has been a gem of info freely given and validated by these dumb fucks. Thanks for that. You've proven yourselves once again. So what I want to point out about AJ's statement on Chroma Vault is she said, if I knew how bad this post would trigger Darling Nikki, I would have done it sooner. So that shows you all you need to know is this person that says, they won't stop, they won't leave me alone, is showing excitement. Like, oh my God, if I knew I would have triggered this person, I would have done it so much sooner. It shows excitement in AJ. It shows that she's a troll. It shows that she gets joy out of harassing people that she claims are harassing her. But then she goes over to her regular AJ account and plays innocent. See how that works? I think I saw that clip, Pesky. Yeah, it was in support of Nikki. Vault posting about how everyone is trying to find out who she is. We already know it's AJ. Bingo. Yeah. Oh, and that's what I'm going to say in closing on the AJ subject. Because yesterday me and Amy were kind of having a conversation on the conspiracy theory that, possibly I've never seen Captain Kangaroo. I know a lot of people have, but I have to see it with my own eyes if he's a real person. We were talking about the conspiracy of possibly, AJ or somebody being that account with the voice changer. He refuses to cam up or whatever. And so AJ posts on Vault, joking about, making fun because, it's fun to poke fun at people, whatever, making fun of me and Amy for having that conversation. But I just wanted to say that, AJ, if you told the truth and you didn't lie about being Vault, people wouldn't be paranoid about you having other troll accounts either. That's why people are curious. And I'm like, God, what other fucking accounts is she? Because you can't even be honest about Vault. Oh, hey, let's talk with Dee Dee. Hey. So I think that's all I wanted to say about that. Now let's get into the good shit. And then I'll drop a link if anybody has anything to add. Okay. Are you guys ready for the... Oh, wait, no. Hold on. Let me address Laugh at Life real quick. I don't know if you noticed this or if you watched Morbid stream or if anybody that was in there noticed this. Okay. But, apparently I left the chat when this topic was spoken on because I don't agree with it. But Laugh at Life had recently, and I don't know if I've ever met you, Laugh at Life. I've seen your name and stuff, but I don't know if we've ever spoke or anything. No, this isn't a good way, Laugh at Life. This isn't a good way. Just so you know. I don't think that we should judge people by outside people that they associate with or live with. We don't know people's living situations or anything like that. So I left the chat when that topic that was brought up. I don't even know if I want to say what it is. But in my personal opinion, I just don't think... I don't judge you for who you've lived with or anything like that, because we don't know people's stories. We don't know people's living situations. We don't know why people are where they are. Laugh at Life, the thing, you were on a panel and you said the person that moved in with you and there was a lot of people outraged or whatever about it. I don't see a fucking problem with that. Is this the real Laugh at Life? It is the real Laugh at Life, right? That's sort of like butting into someone's real life and know who they are with. Exactly. Hey, so done with it? So just so you know, and I know a lot of people have their own opinions on that, but listen, and I've said this before, and people like to throw around the word predator or the P word and stuff like that, or you're a sympathizer, but I stand by my fucking beliefs, whether it's forgiving somebody, whether it's believing somebody can change. I've always said this, and I will always say this. I don't care what you've done in life. My religious belief with Christ, and people are like, oh, I'm talking about the Bible. I ain't talking about the fucking Bible, bitch. I'm talking about what Christ has shown me in forgiveness and love and how I've witnessed it and how God is awesome. Okay. I don't give a fuck if you're Chris Watts. I don't give a fuck what you've done. That's between you and God. And as long as you're still breathing, pissing, taking a shit, speaking and sleeping or whatever, you have an opportunity to grow and learn from your actions. So a lot of people say, oh, well, this person did this, so they deserve to suffer every day. Well, that's inhumane. And we're not allowed to torture people in America. We're not allowed to starve people. Wishing bad things on people isn't like a good thing, regardless of what they've done. Hell, there may be homeless people on the street that you've given money to or given sandwiches to that have done shit that you don't agree with and you just gave them money. So are you supporting everything that they've done in their life? No. and it's really none of our business. So I don't think you shouldn't allow someone to live with you strictly because, oh, they did this, they deserve to be homeless. Nobody fucking deserves to be homeless. So that's all I have to say about that. That's one thing that I stand firm on that I don't agree with. I don't look at you any different, laugh at life, just me. That's me. Hey, Scotty. I threw him out when my grandson was due, and I also went through grooming therapy to be able to notice if he was going. Well, and that's great you did that, but I mean, it's not anybody's fucking business. I mean, we should be aware of things. That's why there's lists. But we should not be targeting people and be like, look, they're over there. And giving, their personal information. This is their address. This is where they live. And all. I don't agree with that. Everybody has the opportunity to grow and to change. And if you disagree with that statement, and I've been called a sympathizer of many different things, good, call me that. I don't give a fuck. It's called growth and wisdom. And I love you, Scotty. So if you want to take that for me supporting any fucking buddy, that's what I mean when I say anybody can have growth and change and forgiveness. Whether you're a sociopath, I don't give a fuck who you are. That's the point of life. We learn. And if you're not, let's say that Brittany went on a fucking murdering spree. She got fed up on here and just started killing bitches, right? And she just did it just for fun because it felt good. And she was like, she's like, oh my God, it's so fun to kill people. I want to do it some more. And so she does. She's having so much fun and she's like smiling while she's doing it. She's like, oh my God, this feels so good. Why haven't I done this sooner? But then one day someone's like, you can change. I can help you. And she goes through like treatment and stuff. Like if there's not one person to say, I believe that you can change, and she's being told you'll never change, you're going to keep killing people. Well, then guess what Brittany's going to do? She's going to keep fucking killing people because nobody believes in her anyways. Fuck it. Who cares? So by believing and saying, hey, I think they can change, I do it. When you like encourage people to do that, that can be motivating to change. If you're a fucking asshole to people nonstop, you're the fucking problem. Because you're the pessimistic one that doesn't want forgiveness, doesn't want change, doesn't want growth. You hate people. You're stuck in your anger. You're stuck on what people did to you or what you saw them do on the news or in a murder case or whatever it is. You don't fucking know people's insides and you don't know their brains. You don't know everything they've experienced in their life. So it's not your fucking place to tell somebody that they can't change. They'll never change. They deserve to suffer. Shut the fuck up is what I have to say. That is not okay. And I can go on and on and on and on and on because there's so many different fucking areas you can go with that conversation. But it's not okay. So what I will say about that is laugh at life. The way that I see this is you saw somebody who had helped you in the past, who is trying to better their life, did their time with something, and is trying to get somewhere in life. You helped them. You could have helped them beyond your wildest imaginations of the growth that they can have. And of course, you're going to have outsiders saying, oh my God, I can't believe she's helping this person. They did this, this, and this. Well, it's not. Guess what? That person could have, if they would have stayed out on the streets and been homeless, they could have died. They could have given up and gone back to their old lifestyle, whatever it is. So I don't, it's fucked up. So if we're going to judge people by, helping or living situations or giving someone $1 or giving them forgiveness, then don't ever fucking give a homeless person money again because you don't know what the fuck they've done. You could be handing money to a fucking serial killer for all you know. Does that mean you support serial killers? Because the only one I support is Brittany. And that's the truth. Brittany's sharpening her knife right now. She's like, let me get out my list. Everyone should be offered such grace. Everybody. And look what happens when you don't, Dots. Not you. I'm not saying you. Look what happens when you don't take someone's apology, which, I mean, no one's ever required to do that. When you never forgive someone, when you wish someone to suffer for life. God, what a hateful, miserable heart that must be to wish something like that on somebody. When you stay in conflict, like I said earlier, you drown. When you see a resolution, that is the plug that unplugs the fucking drain so you don't drown. So a lot of you bitches are drowning yourself, and I choose to fucking swim and to breathe. And to have that drain fucking drain down the shower that I was locked in. Ooh, and I might pee in the drain too, because I pee in the shower. You try not to be hateful. And you know what? A lot of people, of course, if they don't like you, they're going to say something like that. And I just think staying in bitterness is the problem, because I know that I stay in bitterness a lot of the time when I fight with people. And then when I'm like, God, with Scotty even, or like I said, Lycan, I think I've fought with Trisha's boyfriend before. I don't think Trisha and I have ever fought. It's just the easier route to choose a positive direction with something. And that applies across the board with many situations. It's just better. So if you're wishing a horrible life on somebody, which by the way, I do in my head. When I'm mad at people, sometimes I like picture in my head torturing them. Ooh, in like the worst ways, like in movies and stuff. And then after about an hour of torture, my brain goes back to reality and like, God, I don't want that for them. I don't want to go to jail. But I also wouldn't feel good doing that. And then you go down like the easy route and you don't have to spend an hour in your head torturing somebody physically, like in the movie Saw. It takes 1 minute, less than 1 minute to be like, I'm an asshole and so are you. We're done. Melanie tortures people too. Oh my God, the detail. But we don't have to do that. Okay? Do you have any questions about that? Any comments? Yeah. Learn to utilize the block button. Yeah, that's what's crazy about the internet is we really can block people. If we had enough self-control, which I lack a lot of the time. I always watch videos where people are dragging me. I can't help myself. I say I'm not going to watch, but I watch them. You know those people that say, I don't watch them. So, yeah, you do. Or you wouldn't be so offended. Yes, you do. Everybody watches everyone, especially if they're talking about you. Okay, everybody has that narcissistic trait where if you're being spoke about, whether positive or negative, you're going to watch it. And you're going to eat that shit up. Or you're going to cringe. Okay? But yeah, I mean, you can block people. You can block yourself and have enough self-control not to watch people even to get offended, you know? You have questions, Melanie? Ooh, what questions? So quickly, I just want to go over this. So you remember how Beck said, because Shipwreck Beck says that I doxed her a long time ago. And really what I did, because they were saying, you know, I was going through a journey years ago that her and Space Monster would torment the shit out of me and Captain Kangaroo and AJ. And it was a sobriety journey I was on. And I mean, they just went hard at me nonstop. And then they said I was grifting because I did a fundraiser because I went through a 6-week program and obviously wasn't making income at the time and stuff. So in return, you know, Beck, she has a news story. She was on the news with her face, her full name, where she basically, in my opinion, was grifting. So I just showed that. I was like, if I am, so are you. And she said I was doxing her because she went on the news with her face, with her name and everything. But remember how I said, I don't know why Beck is being so crazy because we already squashed this on a panel together? Well, now I have that evidence that she deleted. I'll show some of it, but here's a clip of something she said about forgiving me. And she even let Darling Nikki on the panel. She says Nikki's horrible. This was what, like, not even a year ago? I don't know if Nikki's listening, but let's take a listen to what Beck had to say when we were on her panel. Because she says we're terrible, but...
Oh my God. I haven't seen Shipwreck. That's Claire Bear. I haven't seen that account in like a long time. Shipwreck, did you forgive Save Robbie for doxing you and posting your abuse article? Yes. No, we're here to drag each other. Yes, I did. I forgave him like 2 weeks ago. Was that 2 weeks ago, Robbie?
Okay, well then why are you stuck in your bitterness? Oh wait, hold on, I gotta pause YouTube. Yeah, I'm gonna open up the panel shortly. Schedule. Oh, okay, you have a stream scheduled. Got it, bitch. Last 2 nights, and I know I'm so jealous of Scotty, and your hair looks so cute. I don't know if you posted it on YouTube, but it's very Drew Barrymore when she had her short hair back in the day. So yes, I mean, Shipwreck Beck, listen, I've said this over and over. The only reason she hates me is because Lycan booted her off his panel because she got too drunk. Hey, Lokamai. That is it. So all of these things where Shipwreck Beck is saying, Robbie's terrible. He's been going after me for years. He doxed me, blah, 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 blah. We had already squashed it. You want to see? Hold on. Oh, wait. It's muted. Look at this.
No,
Nikki, are you listening? Do you know the date of this, darling Nikki? Who is that on who is on that panel together? And no, this was after our huge fight. This is when we made up on Beck's panel. This is actually when I think she was at Morbid's back then. So let's see what the tone is. Hold on. Let's see how the tone was set. Let's speed it up a little bit. Were we nice to each other? Were we not? Let's see what's going on here.
idea who it was, who was behind it, and why they were making videos about like my
Well, I was like,
stuff. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
I think a lot of people thought that Sad to Me was Space Monster for
I did
the longest time.
Yes.
And I was just kind of like, at first.
Now, if you don't know what Sad to Me is, that was Beck's channel that she didn't say that she was behind it. It was her channel that she trolled me on. The entire channel was about me. It was during my sobriety journey, and it was bashing it. It was making fun of it, and it was tormenting me until I snapped. And here we are talking about, she's like, yeah, I was Sad to Me. We were fine. I forgave her. She forgave me. The only reason she hates me is because Lycan booted her off his panel. Thank you, Laugh at Life. Why is your hair shiny in one spot? Probably the overhead light and that I'm a balding man. Probably a mix of both.
Poking fun, like I did like the Cosmic Cam, like I'm just a funny little leprechaun, and there was the
it was incognito. Oh, and by the way, I want to say this to Space Monster. Space Monster says, and somebody else said this too, Save Robbie admitted to creating videos to troll himself. And when Amy was mad at me, she shared like private messages that when I would make videos on that Karen is Watching channel that everybody knew was me, I openly would say it. It was a fun fucking channel. At first it was incognito, just so I could go in chats and make it a fun game of who I was and stuff. And it wasn't mean videos. And I was like, I'm going to throw videos of me in there to mix it up and, go at myself too and whatever. But they weren't mean videos. It was just the tone of the videos was exactly the same way I do my breaking news parodies. It's like, it was funny. And even the videos about me, they were all funny. They weren't mean. So shut the fuck up, Space Monster. Anyways, let's keep listening. I'm going to drop a link. And Siren, at the beginning of this, I apologized. I wanted to apologize to you because I know like you have your set streams. the only time I had to respond to this because I slept in today was now. My husband's getting off soon and we're eating dinner with my brother-in-law and his girlfriend and stuff. And I have things to do tomorrow. So I'm so sorry that I went live. I know I'm not one of those people that gets like upset, but I know he has a set time he goes live and stuff and over streaming and stuff. So I'm sorry for that, Siren. I love you. Space Monster's a pain in the ass. I know. I think she even talks about her in this video, but let's see what she has to say. This isn't fair use, so shut up.
You know, Sam Hale was like Bernie's weekend at Bernie's.
Let's fast forward.
Slap in the face to be like, here's my AIDS test. And it is a real test. Like you do, it's not even an AIDS test, it's HIV.
Oh, what I'm talking about is because since I'm gay, RDA, if you know who RDA is, Ross Dog and all them, they think it's funny to poke fun and say that I'm going to die of AIDS. Okay. And so I was upset about that. So one time, and they're like, he has AIDS. I was like, I don't even have HIV, you dumbasses. So one time I went on a live stream and I did an at-home, they have at-home HIV tests. I literally did that. This is way back in the day. And it was negative, and they made a joke out of that too, which I shouldn't have even had to do, which I didn't. I just did it to prove a point. Like, just because I'm gay doesn't mean I have AIDS. Hey, Susie Q. But let's keep going. That's what I'm talking about here.
And so I did it just to be a dick and show everyone, look, now what else are you going to say?
Being like, I'm gonna have a seriously hard time keeping a very straight face if I was to come online right now, because in my world, you need to go to a doctor.
Yeah, she was laughing when I was doing it, but you know, we forgave each other. Look, we were having a conversation. I think the date, hold on. I'm going to pull up the date of this conversation. 1 second. It was, go to downloads. The date of this conversation was, oh wait, that's an hour ago. Because it was re-uploaded. Hold on. Watch this while I'm trying to find it. Okay.
These, get off the counter! Get off the counter! Get off! Get down! Get off! Get off the counter! Get down! Elliot! Get off the counter!
Good boy. So I'm pretty sure, because I remember this conversation happened around the time I met my husband. So I want to say it was about 2 years ago. Couldn't be more than 2 years ago. But yeah, Beck, listening to you rant, and I do understand because I get it. I've been through sobriety journeys and stuff, and I've struggled. You know, it's always going to be a struggle for anyone that has that. I know that. And I've done rants and stuff, but listening to you say that, you know, I'm in some sort of group to target people, or I go after you, or I troll you. No. I mean, I'm doing the same thing to you here that I did to May, that I'll do to anybody that's offering to have a conversation. I mean, I'm literally sitting on a panel and you're sitting on a panel with me where, you know, I had doxed your public news story. You had made a troll channel to make fun of my sobriety. We both were in the wrong, but look, we were both adult enough to have a conversation about it. There's nothing wrong with that. So it can happen for anybody. Granny, Lycan, Amber, me, Space Monster, Morbid, May, Beck, anybody. We just have to swallow our fucking pride. Now, I wasn't going to go through this whole video, but I just wanted to show. I mean, we had a long conversation, but look who also came up on the panel. Darling Nikki, who all of a sudden, again, is a terrible person. Let's hear a couple, whatever we're saying here.
We all know what it is. It's just a big fucking fight club. I get it. I 100% get it. Yeah. I guess for me, the anger and resentment for me came from the fact that I genuinely liked you as a person. Like I really did. And
Oh my God, I was talking the whole fucking time and I was muted. This was about 2 years ago, Susie Q. Sorry. Why do I do that? Hey, Andy. Anyways, Anne says check in dogs. So basically, I was just showing this to show we've spoke to each other. Everything was fine. So any of this bullshit of like her pulling stuff back, no, once I forgive someone, I'm not going back. Okay. Now, current shit, they might have fucked up recently. Yeah, that's the current problem. But anything else, move on. We moved on. All right, hold on. So let's go to. I like to see how long they talk before they realize they're muted. I know. I'm so sorry. I hate that, Cass. I hate dead air. I can't stand dead air. I cannot stand it. Or I can't stand when, because I have ADHD, when people don't get to the point or like super long intros and stuff. I'm like, just fucking do it. Okay, let's go. And dog. What is this about? Apparently it's important if Anne, well, I don't know. We'll see. Where? I don't see a post. Hold on, let me go back to the chat. I don't see a post by Anne Dog. Be careful driving, Andy. You thought the sound in your laptop went out? Sorry about that. You thought it was your phone? I know. Sorry, guys. I hate doing that. I don't see a post on Anne Dog. I just see 2 weeks ago, unless it's like a video or something. Okay. Nope. Drop in the link now. Drop in the link now if anybody has anything else to add. You had to stop modding for someone who mute themselves all the time. Drove me nuts. Or just like because if I go live, there's a purpose for it. So I want to get everything out and like I want to go. Unless people are hanging out or whatever. But yeah, like when people even just like stop talking, it's kind of look at their phone and they don't say, hey guys, give me a minute. They just like do whatever. It's funny. He was just letting you know, came in his chat trying to stir drama with you and him and Dog. Wait, he was just letting you know someone came in his chat trying to stir drama with you and him. Oh, who did? I don't see a community post except for 2 weeks ago on Andog TV. Oh, there's Bitch Talks. Thank you, Bitch Talks. Hey, everyone. What's good? I just wanted to let you know that someone came in my chat last night and tried to stir shit so I can go against you. Don't mean to be rude. Just wanted to let you know. Oh, okay. I appreciate that. Maybe it's because a while ago I blocked him and Ariana from my channel. Because listen, and it wasn't to be mean, but I'm serious when I say AJ has done crazy shit to me. Okay, everyone knows she's Kromavalt. She followed me to Vegas for my wedding. She's done crazy shit. She's gone real life on me. She lied on court documents, cost me $5,000, cost you guys $3,000 that you contributed to it, put me through hell. And anybody supporting her narrative or being like, poor AJ, I'm not for it. Everyone knows the truth. So I'm not mad at him. I'm just disappointed is all. I don't like that because if people talk to her, whatever, there's a lot of people that probably talk to her that I talk to, but people that say literally they believe and support her, I'm not for it. Sorry. No, I'm not. Hey, Ryan. I'm not sorry. Here comes the 1, 2, 3. Hey.
Hi.
Oh, you
How
look
are
beautiful
you?
tonight.
Oh,
Good. How are you?
thanks. I'm good. I think I just wanted to. I feel like I'm in such an awkward place with all of this because, like, I love you so much, but, like, you
Yes.
also know I love Nikki so much.
Yeah.
And it's been a very hard thing to deal with. And I've been, like, racking my brain over the last few days trying to, like, process my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
And I think the conclusion I've come to, and I just wanted to say this like to you publicly so everybody knows like where I stand, where you stand, all that. I think
That's my train. Keep going. And I was vaping, sorry.
I think I'm all for making peace with people, and I think that's completely okay. You're a grown man, you're allowed to make peace with anybody that you want to, and that's at the end of the day, that's nobody's business. That's not my business. It's not Nikki's, Morbid, yours. I think the only thing that maybe would have changed it a little bit is if you had had like a conversation when May reached out with Nikki beforehand and we're like, hey, this happened. This is what I'm going to do. Because I think the biggest thing was we all felt so like blindsided and we were all
Yeah.
just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I think because of your relationship with Nikki, I feel like that's where I've had the disconnect was like, I'm all for you making peace, but I just feel like maybe she deserved like a warning before
Yeah, no, I
because, you know,
completely
she
get
was
that.
so like blindsided by the whole situation. And I think that's where it's been like so hard for me because I can understand her
Yeah.
feelings because she was so blindsided. But if it had been a conversation beforehand, then like maybe she wouldn't have been feeling so like, you know, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I completely get that. I mean, because like I said at the beginning of the stream, I was ready kind of to drag May, and then she came in my chat and I was like, so in that moment, like the only thing I thought was, okay, like I'll accept the peace. And to be completely like transparent, it didn't even cross my mind because I don't follow a lot. I know that Nikki has gone through a lot of stuff with a lot of people over there, and I just
Yeah.
never watched like Sam Hill. I don't know everything except from
I don't know who
what
half
Nikki
these
is.
people are. I'm with you
Yeah,
on that. Like half the time I'm watching like streams that people send me and I'm like, who's this
yeah,
person? Who's that person? You know, and the only reason I even know who May is at all is because of all the Nikki stuff that came with it. And you know, Nikki's been my real life friend for, you know, we're going on like 11 years, I think. Like we've known each other a really long time. And so of
yeah,
course, like as her real life friend, my heart like broke when all of that was happening because I'm like, that's my girl, you know, like you're saying horrible things about my girl. And
right.
so, I mean, even I was a little blindsided the other day in the chat when like I saw her and then she was like up on your panel. I was like, oh, what is happening? And you remember I was texting you like, I don't know if you should be doing this. I feel like it's gonna like be a problem, you know?
Yeah, I usually don't even check text while I'm live. So like if
No, I
anybody
know.
was
I
texting
figured.
me,
I was like, he's gonna like see this after and be like, oh, hi.
right. Yeah, well, and I mean to me, even when I had emailed May after that, because the only thing really I had seen with my own eyes was her and Nikki going at it that one night. And I think it was on Sam Hill's. And hi, Scotty, by the way. I
Hi,
think it was
Scotty.
on oh, she's muted. I think it was on Sam Hill's, but they were going at it. And so one night before I went to bed, I had gone up there and, you know, maybe tried to comment to see, because I know how much the internet has affected Nikki really badly.
Yeah.
And I won't even say names of people that have.
Right.
So it is serious for her. And in that moment of, you know,
Hi,
her coming in
sorry,
my chat.
I was muted.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh, it's okay.
Hi.
Hey, I love your new haircut, by the way.
Thank you, honey.
In the moment of her coming in my chat, I really just took that opportunity because I feel like if I would have been like, block her, you know, it would have
Right.
just made it worse before it got better. And this is going to sound bad, but it's the truth. Like, I didn't even think of her fight with Nikki in that moment, which now I know maybe I could have, but I don't know all the details. And
Right.
I could have thought about her and Morbid, but when stuff like that happens, I always like to do it because it's like, okay, so it's possible that person showed a kind gesture. So maybe the other people will see they're not all, I mean, they could be terrible. I don't know, but at least they have it in them to make peace and just to make it better. So that's
Yeah,
really
I mean,
all that
you
was in
know
my
me.
brain.
I stay out of drama as much as I possibly can, you know, like I think it's funny and I'll watch because like I'm like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
insane, you know. But and I mean, even then, like as far as YouTube goes, like I stay out of it
Yeah.
completely when I'm on the platform because it's just like, I don't have any skin in any of the game. Like, it's one thing to like talk with my friends about it privately, but it's another thing to like bring it publicly. And I think that's where a lot of the drama with like Nikki and Morbid is coming from, is it was just like a complete like blindside. And that's the only word I can think of. I know I keep saying it a lot. Everybody take a shot every time I say blindside, but
I have my coffee.
hey, get your caffeine on. But yeah, you know, I feel like Nikki is having a hard time articulating, because like, you know, we have like our group chat and stuff, and I think she's been having a really hard time like articulating her feelings. And because I
Yeah.
love her so much, I just wanted to come up here to try and like defend her a little bit and maybe articulate for her on her behalf, because she's having such a hard time with it. But it's also like way more personal to her than it is to me, because like I have no beef with May. Like I think the only thing I can even think of between her and I is like, and it wasn't even her, it was more so just there was like this fear of like people that were in community chats getting like doxxed and attacked. And so I almost like pulled off the platform completely, because I was like, I'm a mom, I'm a wife. Like I just literally jumped on YouTube because like I wanted to create, you know, spooky content and have some fun. I didn't like hop on the platform to like put my family at risk, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's the only thing that's ever been like surrounding me as far as these communities go. But other than that, like I'm pretty like I'm just chilling, you know, like I'm just talking about like conspiracies and ghosts. It's not that deep as far as my channel goes.
Well, and also if people are confused about the Nikki thing, like I haven't even said that Nikki was upset about it before. I didn't make it public. I think Morbid started talking about that last night. I was like, well,
Yeah.
I don't want to comment on that, because a lot of different people, not just Nikki, were messaging me and they're like, what are you doing? And it wasn't about Nikki. It was about them kind of being upset or confused.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I can only speak for Nikki and Morbid because those are the only two that like I have any attachments to, but I know it was like a ton of people that were like, what is going on, you know? And so a lot of people were just kind of like, you know, but I say I'm in a rock and a hard place because like there is a part of me that fully understands where you're at, because I'm also one of those people. Yes.
I just want to pause you really quick. Because I don't know where Nikki stands with Rev right now. Is it okay if he's in here? Because I don't know what terms they're on. No?
I don't know. I've never spoken to the gentleman. I just know he's,
because I don't want to make anything any worse. But yeah, if people are confused, you know, Nikki was kind of hurt and offended that I did that. I didn't make that public. Like I didn't even want to talk about that.
I told her I was
just
coming
saying
up.
in general.
I told her I was coming up.
Oh,
so she knows. I prefaced in a text beforehand, and she gave me the thumbs up. So
yeah, I was just making a blanket statement, like to everybody that was confused about it. It's
right.
The reasoning, you know, so people weren't confused. Nikki hasn't. Oh, he's defending Nikki in the chat, so I don't know.
Yeah, Nikki just texted me and said it's okay if he comes up.
Okay, good. Scotty, did you want to add anything? Sorry. Oh, you're muted, but
yeah, I'm not muted. You like it? You like
it? It looks so cute. Yes.
Yeah. It's the end of the day, so it's not. It looks way cuter earlier, but
you're all refreshed and relaxed.
Yeah, I am. I feel much better. I needed those 2 days.
Well, it shows.
Thanks. And a break from here has been awesome.
Yeah,
right?
Everybody needs it. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I try to make humor or poke fun, you know, when I'm upset about something, so that maybe the people could see that I don't take it so seriously and we could all laugh and stuff. But
right. If anything, I would just like to say, I don't even know. Because it's been a minute.
Have you been following anything that's been going on during your break?
No, not.
Sometimes I'll take breaks, but I'll watch certain people I like, so I'll just randomly hear some stuff that's going on. But yeah, that's good that you haven't listened to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, not much really.
Well, I could say this when it comes to you, because this is a good example kind of on this topic. But like you and I have kind of had a bad, not terrible history, but of just not getting to know each other, and it was a negative thing.
Right.
And so getting to know you, I go based off my experience, which has been great. And then also there's, and I don't want to like throw this name out to cause controversy, but it's for an example. Then there's people like Table Talk who you don't get along with, who I've also fought with in the past, but I've like come to a resolution and grown to love as well. So when you have two people like that, it becomes uncomfortable, and it doesn't have to be, as long as both are aware of like, hey, I like both of you, I love both of you, and you just try to do whatever you can to help. But I think that's a good example of like some relationships that I have right now that could be uncomfortable if you guys made it, but you don't make it uncomfortable on me.
Right. Well, like when I was on your panel and Lycan came up, and I know you did that because you thought you could help bring
Right.
about a resolution, but I don't think that you realized how deep that those issues go
Right.
between me and I, and I did feel bad for you because I didn't mean for it to go off the rails, but that's just the nature of the beast between he and I.
Mm-hmm.
And like you felt, or you looked like you were just like a deer in headlights.
Well, I mean,
I felt bad. I did. I felt bad. I'm sorry it ended up getting that nasty, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and I mean, just so you guys know, because that's the funny thing too, is like a lot of these situations where it's people that are fighting and I've made amends with them or just offered a kind gesture of forgiveness or peace or whatever it is. It's never to try to like spite and like hate bonding or whatever. I mean, I do hate bond. I'll go in people's chats and talk shit about other people, but I already get along with them, but it's never with those intentions. And like you just said, it goes so much deeper. I think maybe that's something that I can take from your situation, from Nikki's situation with May, and kind of be more aware of in the future of like, I may be doing a kind thing, but looking back at like the Nikki and the May situation where May came into my chat, but Nikki's one of my best friends,
Yeah.
and I just let her come in, let her come up on the panel. I could have at least maybe in the future, if something like that happened, like grab my phone and shot her a text real quick before I said anything,
Yeah. I was listening to that live. I
Oh,
didn't get
were
to
you?
listen to all of it earlier today on my way home from work, actually, and it did seem kind of spur of the moment, I guess. Like
Very.
I didn't. It didn't seem planned. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so my heart went out to you a little bit because it did seem very just like you also were a little kind of taken aback by her being there, and then she like grabbed a link and jumped up, so it wasn't like you were in there like, hey, I'm glad you came, I invited you, like let's do our thing that we planned. It didn't seem like it was like a pre-planned thing, but yeah, I think that's the only thing I'll say, is that maybe just a little like heads up would have helped the situation a little bit, because it was just so like
Yeah.
out of pocket,
Yeah. And and May completely changed my content that I had planned at that point, because I was
Right.
planning on kind of going in hard at her. So it felt really good to be like, oh, now that anger that I was just about to unleash, I mean, it really did just make it disappear. And I was like, this feels so much better than what I was about to say. Uh, and like I said before, as far as like even with Morbid, and even with Scotty, we talk, we're great friends, but I don't know all of the issues that Scotty's going through with people. So I know that Nikki and May like fought and didn't like each other. I guess maybe I just didn't pay attention to like the seriousness of it. And that's why I asked if it's okay if Rev's in here, because like I know a lot of the shit has been really serious between them two. So I didn't want it to make it worse. But the way that I looked at May, honestly, was the way that I saw her and Nikki fighting. I saw it like kind of just calling names back and forth. So to me, I guess that didn't seem as serious as what it is, I guess. So
Can I say one thing though?
yeah,
And I'm like an innocent bystander in this situation, right?
even better.
Right. I really don't think there's any way possible that she didn't realize the nature of your relationship with Nikki when she jumped on your panel.
Yeah,
That is a very good.
1000%. I mean,
And
that was the
yeah,
only other thing was like, I mean, I don't want to, again, I don't have much skin in this game other than like my relationship with Nikki, but it was kind of like, she knows you guys are super close and like have a real life
yeah,
relationship, you know, like it's not just on YouTube. You guys are friends in real life and like spend time together and stuff. And it was just, she was very aware of it, you know, and I think maybe subconsciously knew it was going to cause some sort of waves. I'm not going to speak to what her intention was, but
right,
there were just
yeah,
so many layers to that whole situation where like a million thoughts were going through my mind like, oh my god, what's her intention? Is she like doing this to hurt like Morbid and Nikki? Is she genuinely just looking for peace? Like, I don't know this
Mhm.
woman. I just know the things I've seen and the things I've heard, and you know, there were a lot of like negative connotations
Yeah,
around her being up on your panel, you know what I mean? Like, and again, you know, I was telling you this privately, but some of the things that she said that I like saw clips and pieces of, I mean, they made me cry because like I love Nikki so much, and they were just such awful things to like say about somebody, and it was like incessant. It wasn't like 5 minutes of it, it was hours of it.
right. Yeah, and that's terrible. And of course, I don't want anybody to think that like I would just overlook that or anything. I just I being married and life outside of YouTube and stuff. When I come on here, I usually talk about things that directly, I don't really come on and commentate unless I'm doing parodies about it, about other people's stuff, because I don't know enough, or it's not that I don't care enough, but it's not my place really to talk about unless I was like a commentary channel. Of course, with my friends, whatever they tell me or vent or need to vent about, I'm there to listen and stuff. But I guess I just really didn't know the serious. I know a lot of the seriousness of shit people have done to Nikki on here, but I guess I just didn't look at it specifically at May. So I really didn't know. I know they hate each other. I know that, but it didn't even cross my mind. Um, and that's why I was saying also at the beginning of the stream, it's uncomfortable a lot of times when people are fighting and you might be okay with them, and you go into their stream and say hi, and then you realize they're talking about somebody you care about, and you're like, oh shit, now I got to back out of here or say, hey, I'm leaving, or and it's sad that we have to do stuff like that just so people don't get confused. So I mean, I guess I was a little bit thrown off too, is when that live stream ended with May and Lycan, all the messages that I was getting, um Nikki being one of them, but and people kind of being confused and asking me what the fuck I was doing. And a lot of it was, there was hurt coming from them. And I was kind of surprised myself, because I was like, that felt good. I don't like, to be completely honest, 100%, I don't want to take back that forgiveness or apology, because that would be going against what I believe in. So I'm kind of stuck of where it's like, okay, I made a peaceful gesture. So now, like, if May comes in my chat, like, do I boot her? Do I like? I don't know, because would that be going against my peace with her? Is somebody else going to get
Well,
offended?
and I mean, I don't think you have to do that because like what's done is done at this point, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, stay true to your word and what you've done. Like I can respect that.
Right.
Um, as far as like everybody goes, you don't I personally don't think you owe an explanation to anybody, but I think when it comes to somebody that like you have a deep love and a real relationship with, that person maybe deserves the explanation a little bit more so than like people on YouTube.
Right. Right. And what Kelsey said, you guys don't have to have any bad blood, but also you don't have to be besties. And that's the way I see it. And also, if May's listening to this, or if anybody is that could tell her, uh, I enjoyed the conversation. I disagreed with a lot of the things she was saying about Morbid. I it was a very peaceful conversation, which I don't regret. But I hope she also realizes that I'm close and I support people that, like you said, she's done bad things to, or they don't get along and stuff. So I hope she understands that, I'm not going to go over into her chat and just shoot the shit or anything like that, because clearly, I mean, just by forgiving her, it caused people to be hurt. So I don't want anybody to misunderstand or her think by me not going into her chats that I hate her or anything, or that I take back my little peace agreement. So it's weird, and it sucks because when I make nice with somebody, it feels so good. It really does.
Yeah,
So
I
it
mean, peace
sucks
is
having that.
always like better than the alternative. Like if I can do anything to have peace in my life, I will 1000% do it. I mean, of course I have like lines and, boundaries that I'll draw around certain aspects, which I'm sure you do as well, but as far as like drama on YouTube goes, I can understand, having some leniency there and just not wanting any more like drama with, YouTube creators that you've never met in your life.
Right.
Um
And
so
plus,
yeah.
like, so after that live, the high that I got from, feeling like I accomplished something, it it felt very disappointing that a lot of people messaging me. It was like almost like that high was being shot down. And I knew it was the right thing for me to do. Even though people got hurt, I do stand by that. I feel like it was the right thing. But I felt like it was like a tug of war. Like, no, this shouldn't be happening. You shouldn't be making a positive step with somebody. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, which direction do I go? Do I go into where it should be pulled back to where I should take it back? And that's not what I want to do. So it left me very confused, and I think I still am a little bit.
Can I ask
Yeah, I
a
mean, I am
question?
too.
Thank you,
Can I
Melanie.
ask
Yes.
you? Can I
Sorry,
ask you a
we're
question?
like blabbering, Scotty. Sorry.
You're fine. Have you listened to what she said about Nikki yet yourself?
No, I mean, maybe in the past, because Nikki has shown me a lot of links of where she's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, listen," or see what they're saying here and stuff. We vent to each other like that. Um, I don't always have time to go to
To watch,
because
yeah,
people. I mean, Scotty, as a
I know.
creator and then also as a friend of people in real life and stuff, you don't have time to like catch up on all messages and all that. So I don't have time to watch everything. So no, I have not seen, I guess, the detail of something, because if she would have popped in and it would have been something so like really terrible to the point where I'd be like, look, I know you're sorry to me, but like I know what you've done to somebody very close to me, so this is awkward. I would have probably said something like that, and it just wasn't in my
Yeah.
mind.
I have no doubt that you would, because you're quick to defend people that you care about when you feel like they've been wronged. So I have no doubt that you would have.
Yeah, and I'm also quick to notice like, ooh, this is a weird situation that I
Mhm.
need to say something so people aren't confused. I definitely would have said something like that as well.
Yeah, yeah. I,
Yeah,
I don't
because I
know.
mean, I like kind of what Scotty's saying. I think that's been my thing is like if I had been in your shoes, because I'm aware of a lot of the things that have been said and the content that's been made around Nikki from her, I would have been like, no, like I
Right.
don't wish you any ill will or anything like that, but also like I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole because you just said some really awful things about my friend, and like I know where my loyalties have to lie, especially with like real life people, you know what I mean? And if you weren't aware of it, you weren't aware of it, and that obviously is going to change the narrative a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
and
don't
it's
want to take too much of your stream up. I just wanted to come on here and have Nikki's back a little bit because I love her
absolutely.
and I feel like somebody's got to be in my girl's corner, and I'm happy to be that champion. So
Yeah.
and again, it's like I said, it's hard because I love you so much too, and you and I have gotten so close, especially over this last year. Like I definitely consider you one of my closest friends now, so it was
Yeah.
definitely like a hard position to be in because I was like, no,
I
like I
know. Well,
hate
I mean, honesty
this.
is the best way to go with stuff like that. But
Right.
I mean, it was that because I know that there's a group of people that Nikki has had really bad shit happen with. So names that stick out to me would, I mean, Rev is one of them. That's why I was like, Sam Hill, GLM, May, Rostog. Like, there's a bunch of names that stand out, but I don't know like who's done what, who, you know, I just know they all hang out together and they've had shitty streams. I don't know where the streams, like what specific channels they've been on. So it is that, but it's also mixed with, you know, everybody has their own version. Like I said earlier, I believe in forgiveness and wisdom, like growing for everyone. So I think a lot of people, they also don't understand that. I mean, even with Lycan, you know, we have done terrible shit to each other. You know, he apologized about putting my job out there and shit, you know, and I even had made peace with AJ, which is the biggest fucking lunatic on here. So that, I just want people to know that I mean it when I say anybody, I have no problem. So I understand when people say, well, you know, they did this to your friend or they did that. And when you say that, I do take that into consideration, of course. And then I also think to myself, like, I still, like, if that person, let's say whatever she did to Nikki, like saying terrible stuff for streams, the way I look at it is like, if she would have done it to me, I would have forgiven her. So then I have to think to myself, okay, if Nikki's not willing to forgive her, or have a conversation or something, that's her right. You know, that's what she wants. In my mind, I'm thinking that I wouldn't do that because that's just going to leave the negativity there, you know, not being open to it or may not being open to it. So I have to support Nikki because she's my friend and her decision. But it's uncomfortable because I don't want to drag May anymore. So like,
Right. And
I'm not
I
going to
don't, like I said, I
participate
don't
in that.
blame you. And
Yeah.
like, I don't think there should be, I don't think anybody's allowed to put expectations or force decisions on anybody. And like, you made your decision and like, you're at peace with it. And I think that's awesome. You
Yeah.
know, like if you feel good about it, like at the end of the day, that's what you have to live with when you go to bed at night. So like, if you feel good about it, then like, you know, that's great. I think, you know, my only 2 cents would be maybe in the future, should another person come to you seeking peace and you know it's going to affect somebody you love, just give them a heads up and let them know so that they don't just like get completely bombarded with like, whoa, what the hell is going on here? Because
Right.
I think that would have saved a lot of confusion and heartache, you know,
Yeah.
specifically for Nikki.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, that's why also in this stream, I kind of reminded people that I'm always very open about my stance on like my version of religion and forgiveness and all that. So, I mean, I guess saying the statement here as well, like anybody that knows me, I hope you know, and I'll just say it here. If anybody comes to me being kind, I'm gonna treat them the way they're treating me.
Yeah. No, and I mean,
And
you know me,
accept
I'm a
it.
Christian.
So,
We've had many
yeah.
a conversation about our religious beliefs and whoa.
My husband just came in the room and scared me shirtless. It's Scotty and Thea. Hi, there's Thea. But yeah, I mean,
no,
so
you
in
know,
the future,
I love
I will
you
definitely
and
try to do that.
I love Nikki too. And I just, you know, I just felt like I needed to come up here and try to articulate where she's coming from a little bit for her
Yeah.
because she's, you know, she's been struggling with how to articulate it herself because there's so many more layers for it with her specifically. With me, not so much. I'm kind of like just on the sidelines with a lot of it. And like, I hope to stay that way. Like, you know, just to anybody that thinks otherwise, like, I'm not trying to get involved in any of this. I have a personal relationship with Nikki and I love her very much and wanted to have her back because I feel like that's my obligation as her friend. And I know she'd do the same for me. So.
Right. And I appreciate that. Thank you for that.
Yes, but I'm gonna hop off. My kid is like freaking out, I think, and
Okay.
probably tired. But I love you. Thanks for letting
you
me come
too.
up here and say my piece, Scotty. It was good chatting with you.
Yeah, good to meet you, honey.
Bye.
You guys have a good night. Bye.
You too. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah, I was like earlier I was talking so fast because my husband was getting off work. I was like, I'm going to try to end this before he gets off. But do you have anything to add, like before we go? About anything?
No, I just wanted to come up and say hi to you. It's been a minute since
Oh,
I've
I
been
love
out
you.
here.
Yeah, Scotty's been updating me on her, and I'm like, I'm so jealous. She's been having like a relaxing weekend, getting her hair cut, in a hotel, in the hot tub, and all that, getting pampered.
Yeah. Thanks. It's been nice. It's been even better getting a break from all the toxicity out here, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, when it gets to the point where you have to have a break, that's another reason. There's so many different reasons why I choose to like
Yeah.
make nice with somebody, but it's like, yeah, I wouldn't feel like I needed a break if I simply
Well,
just said
that's
fuck it, and just was peaceful.
that's who you are, though. Like you like to make peace with people.
I do.
So, and that's good. That's positive. And it just doesn't work with everyone, but that's
Right.
okay. That's okay too. But have a good night. Enjoy your night and stuff.
I love you.
I love you too. I do. I love you too.
Aw. All right. Well, I will talk to you soon.
All right, honey. Bye-bye. Oh, and I wanted to say thank you to everyone who was giving me compliments in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yes, you look
Good
well
night.
rested and refreshed.
Thanks. Bye, honey.
Okay, bye. All right, guys. So that's that. I don't think I see anything else in my notes. I think I've skipped my breaking news for this week. Those are kind of hard to put together when you have to edit it and stuff. But yeah, I have some funny things in mind for them. The next one. So, I don't think they'll be weekly, but they'll be close enough. Okay. Panty party. Yeah, if you didn't catch the end of Morbid stream last night, check it out. The guy that came up was very interesting. And thank you for the super chats, you guys. Sorry if I didn't say thank you out loud if someone was talking, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. I know, but my husband just got home and I gotta go spend some time, and they're cooking for us, Selena and Butthead. So I hope you guys have a good night. I hope you guys didn't take anything I said to be, because I'm trying to be positive about it, except for the fucking assholes. Fuck you, Captain Kangaroo, until you're nice to me and come to me for some sort of peace, which I've come to you for. Take a fucking seat. Shut up. Oh, I love you, Melanie. That am gonna miss you, love, the minute you walk out that door. Sorry about arguing in your chat. It's okay. I mean, as long as there was no doxing and stuff. Arguing is like the first form of communication to get to some sort of resolution, kind of. Unless you're calling each other names and doing shit that's just pissing each other off more. But arguing can be good sometimes because you get the mean part out, but then you talk afterwards. So it could be a positive thing. Love you, Kelsey. Sadly, you missed the whole conversation. That's fine. You're having your own. It's good. All right, guys. I hope you have a good evening. And tomorrow I have a lot of stuff to do. And Stacy, I'm going to text you when I get off of here. I'm sorry I was supposed to call you, and now my husband's home, and it was daylight savings and shit. Me and my good friend Stacy are due for a phone call. Love you, Stacy. I'll make out with you. You want to hang out tomorrow? I'll make out with you. All right. Have a good evening, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
No chance. No